Hello YouTube, Magnitude Gaming here with our 17th episode on the history of competitive play in Yu-Gi-Oh! Christopher Flores of Team Rampage took SJC Durham at the end of February. Shadow of Infinity was finally legal, and this brought us a very powerful card that will influence the game for years to come, Treeborn Frog. The card doesn't look like much now, especially with the game being so power crept. However, you shouldn't let this little guy fool you. In the earlier days, this additional special summon was crucial. Treeborn Frog made decks like Monarch viable for years to come, and was splashed into various other decks. Speaking of Monarchs, more players are now taking it in their decks to give themselves an advantage. It was more manageable now by having a monster that could special summon itself pretty much any turn. Treeborn Frog also led to the increased use of enemy controller. You could special summon Treeborn Frog in the standby, and then tribute for Econ, then revive Treeborn again since he wasn't once per turn. With more Monarchs and Treeborn Frog in the meta, Metamorphosis made a comeback as well. Treeborn Frog and Sheep tokens were easy tribute fodder to special summon Thousand Eyes, and the Monarchs could be tributed to summon Ryu Senshi. Orlando, Florida hosted the second Shonen Jump of 2006, and 426 duelists were in attendance. Roy St. Clair was in his first top 8 finish since SJC Columbus of the year before. Roy was with no doubt the favorite to win the tournament. A previous top 8 showing and former Worlds competitor had put him in this place. Roy was playing 2 gold and 2 Jar of Greeds in his main deck. Roy was playing for Team Immortal Technique. Leonard Hamilton was also playing for Team Immortal Technique. He was taking a Sandmoth, a growing trend at the time. It was an easy way to counter Drillroid. He also played an Injection Fairy Lily. Iman Ganyan was in his second top 8 appearance, the first since SJC LA in April 2005. He was playing for Team Naruto, a West Coast team. I don't think he had a 15th card in his side deck, although he was citing 3 Return from a Different Dimension. Daniel Fitzgerald made top 8 and gave Team Nexus their second straight top 8 finish after Miguel Garcia had topped SJC Durham. Daniel played 3 Monarchs and 2 Treeborn Frogs in his deck. He finished second at SJC Atlanta, losing to now teammate John Jensen. Fitzgerald was hoping to get first this time around. Michael Lux was a native Florida player, and unknown at the time, he finished in top 8 with his Cookie Cutter Chaos deck. He finished 7th in Swiss, just above Iman Ganyan. He was the only player in top 8 to outright main deck 2 Kaiku the Ghost Destroyers. Chris Patel was one of Canada's best players ever. This event was his first top 8. He was playing for Team Extreme, not the wrestling stable. Anyways, his deck caught my eye for 2 reasons. First, he main decked 2 Treeborn Frogs. I'm guessing he really wanted to ensure that he would have tribute fodder. He also main decked 3 Mask of Darkness. I'd seen some lists with 1 or 2, but 3 was certainly eye-popping. He wanted to really abuse those time seals. For the second event in a row, Team Rampage had a member in top 8. Roberto Martinez was in his first top 8 finish since SJC New Jersey the year before. He teched a Skull Angel, which wasn't super uncommon during that era. Then there was Raheel Murali. I actually don't know too much about him. I used a photo from him many years later. I used a photo of him that I found from a couple of years later after this event. He was the only player in top 8 maining Air Knight Parasath. The card had made a comeback due to floaters and cards like Spirit Reaper. It was even better now since it could punish a player for having Treeborn Frog on the field. Or not. While Orlando wasn't technically played under new ban lists, it did pave the way for the beginning of a change in the format. Treeborn Frog changed the game for years to come, and this was the start. In top 8, Iman Ganyan was set to face Daniel Fitzgerald. Iman showed up late for day 2, and he was given a game 1 loss. The loss was too much for him to overcome, and Daniel Fitzgerald was on to top 4. Unaffiliated, Michael Lux went on to defeat Team Rampage's Roberto Martinez after the game went into time. Lux won the game after clearing Roberto's set cards with Mobius the Frost Monarch. Roy St. Clair was able to beat Team Extreme's Chris Patel to make top 4 as well. Raheel Murali would also beat Leonard Hamilton to claim his top 4 spot. The 2 underdogs, Raheel Murali and Michael Lux, had to play each other. Unfortunately for one of them, their Cinderella run would come to an end. Raheel won the first game of the match, but Michael Lux came back to win the last 2 games, so Michael Lux was heading to the finals. Meanwhile, Daniel Fitzgerald was looking to make his second finals appearance, and Roy St. Clair was looking to make his first finals appearance. St. Clair outgrinded Daniel Fitzgerald. Daniel was reduced to top decking, and a Chaos Sorcerer finished off Daniel Fitzgerald. Roy St. Clair was heading to the finals. The finals of SJC Orlando was a David vs. Goliath match. St. Clair was a very well-known player, and was playing for the new team, Team Immortal Technique. He had multiple regional tops, and this was his second top 8 finish. Michael Lux was an unaffiliated player from Wesley Chapel, a small town located in the Tampa area. The first game was short. Michael Lux won the game in just a few turns. He cleared the field with Dark Hole, and then it was all downhill from there for Roy St. Clair. The second game was much longer, with Lux trying to plus off Mobius the Frost Monarch, but losing it to Bottomless Trap Hole. St. Clair slowly beat him down, and a Chaos Sorcerer was enough to finish off Lux in the second game. Even after all this, a lot of people say that Lux was so relaxed and Even during this high pressure match, he was having fun, just unfazed by the magnitude of being a win away from being a Shonen Jump champion. Lux started off game 3, and the game was even slower than the second. Both those started to build advantage. It looked to swing towards St. Clair's way when his Spirit Reaper discarded a pot of avarice from Lux's hand, but Lux fought back and flipped the Heavy Storm to put him right back in the game. And it looked like later on that St. Clair was getting back in command after he used a Primordial Barrier to revive his Mobius and attack with that into Koichi. However, Michael Lux had the heart of the cards on his side that day. He drew Snatch Steal. He used it to take Mobius and summoned his Kaiku. Mobius beat over St. Clair's only monster, and Kaiku wiped out the rest of St. Clair's life points. SJC Orlando concluded, and once again, a Florida native took the title. Unknown Michael Lux overcame the odds and beat the odds-on favorite to become the champion of Orlando. Lux's win, as well as the Top Cuts trend, solidified Treeborn Frog as a game changer for the remainder of 2006. That does it for this episode, guys. Tune in for next episode, Shonen Jump Championship Long Beach 2006. That's the T for magnitude, guys. Thank you for watching.